my voice isn't as strong as some of the others that have been up here, so I gotta use the mic.
Is it? Hello? Are we good? Everyone hear me? Alright, yeah, I need a mic. So, when I actually saw the Facebook event, I thought signing up was mandatory. That's kind of why I'm here today. I'm actually not even Muslim. So, a friend invited me to the Muslim Writers Collective. I was like, dude, okay, it sounds interesting. And then when I thought the link was mandatory, I was like, oh man, but they won't select me. My name is Abhiii Sri Rama. So when I thought about stories to write, because I'm nowhere as talented as that, or nowhere as talented as some of the other acts I've seen or performers I've seen up here, I thought of, well, as a non-Muslim, it would only make sense to write something at a Muslim Writers Collective event that a Muslim had taught me. And honestly, this event experience, I'd like to say, probably even saved my life. So, let's see, I'm looking at this. So this happened when I was in high school, 10th grade, actually, sophomore. By the way, I hope I'm less than 10 minutes, someone stop me, push me off and whatnot. But in 10th grade, as most of us in here know, or have felt, I got a lot of pressure from my family. I was feeling a little depressed. My grades weren't up to par, hardly ever. I was a little chubby. Actually, I was really chubby. So I had a lot of self-image issues. My best friend at the time, actually, I felt was getting more and more estranged from me. Like I wasn't able to connect with him as well. And I felt like I lost a little part of me every day I went to school. The kicker was, my girlfriend in 2 weeks broke up with me. Man, that really sucks. And life really sucked at that time, you know what I mean? As a 10th grader in high school. I don't have much perspective on life. So whatever I felt then was a really big deal. Mountains out of molehills, as the Taylor Swift song goes. So my family's from India, and we often took trips to India over the summer. That's the summer breaks. And so that one summer, we went to India, and this is kind of where that experience took place. Specifically, my family's from a city called Hyderabad. And, there we go, Hyderabad people in the house. So, and in Hyderabad, it's a major city in India, and in most major cities, even if you're not from India or seen, Slumdog Millionaire, you kind of know. There are a lot of poor people in India. Their situation is deplorable. Below the poverty line is just, I can't imagine. I can see, I can't imagine. And they're beggars upon beggars lining the streets, everywhere you go, no matter where you are. Hyderabad's no different. And so we spent about 3 weeks in Hyderabad. And I hated it, man. 10th grader, not feeling up to par, just no. It was hot in Hyderabad, as it was everywhere else. And that first week, I remember I was stuck inside my room, where the AC was the one AC unit, the entire flat. And I was stuck inside my room and I'm watching cartoons. I don't know if you've ever tried to watch Ben 10 on repeat in Hindi for 5 hours straight every day when you don't even know Hindi. Oh my God. That sucked. I honestly thought I was picking up a little bit by the end, but unfortunately, at the end of that 1 week, the AC unit broke. No, man. What, 50 degrees Celsius or something? So I was stuck, and I annoyed my mom enough that she threw some rupees at me and was like, get the hell out of here. And I was like, okay, you know what, I'm gonna take my rupees and get the hell out of here. So I started doing that for the next 2 weeks, in fact. I would take 50, 100 rupees, which is about a buck or two, and walk the streets. Man, I felt like a king. 100 rupees? Kidding me? What? I never had an allowance back then, so I didn't know what it was. And in India, since the standard of living is like so much lower than it is in the United States, 100 rupees gets you a bunch of stuff. You know, so I'm walking around, you know, I'm blowing my money around, I'm throwing rupees at like, I'm going downtown. And so that's how my life was for those 2 weeks. And I think the worst part about it was, even though, you know, I felt good with 100 rupees in my pocket, it kind of sucked because there was really no one that I knew that was my age. I didn't have a friend. I didn't have anyone I could connect to. And so I'm kind of alone walking around, buying stuff from like stands and throwing, you know, change at the ground from other beggars, feeling really magnanimous, like a badass, you know, just putting stuff out. And so one experience, this experience in particular, is what I'm here to talk to you about. That's the setting, I guess. One evening really, I'm walking back from a dosa stand. Dosa, I don't know if you guys know, it's absolutely delicious. It's so good. And anyone that has not tried dosa has not lived their life. And so I'm walking back from a dosa stand, right? And I've eaten my fillings. It's like, that's the dosa stand right there. And I'm walking back, and there's like this little beggar boy, and he was Muslim actually. In fact, this is the kid that taught me that important lesson. And I knew he was Muslim, because in Hyderabad, you know, a lot of the Muslim boys, they were like little the prayer caps. I don't know what they're called. I'm sorry if I'm ever political. Thank you, Toby. Sure. And he had like a prayer robe that I've seen other Muslim men wear. Except his was in tatters. Man, this kid was poor beyond belief. Like he had flies around him. You know, like those videos you see in documentaries in like the U.S. when you're safe in your bed. And you watch to like talk to your friends about later, like, dude, did you see that? This was like right there. And I'm like walking, and like I didn't have any change on me at that time. And bear in mind, like I'm not, my Telugu, which is the predominant language spoken in Hyderabad, I'm not too good with it. I'm especially not good with it when someone is speaking Telugu to me. So I'm walking by him, and he grabs my leg. And in India, a lot of the times, people, when they beg to people, they usually call them by some sort of endearing name. So to me, he holds out his hand with his right arm, grabbing me as tight as I'm holding his mic. And he holds out his hand, he's like, Anna, Anna. Anna means big brother. And I'm like, oh! And I know the first Telugu word that comes into my mind. Palu! Palu! And for those of us that don't know Telugu, Palu means milk. I have no idea. I don't know why I said that. I said that though. And this is so out of the world, I cannot make this up. So I'm sitting here, I'm dragging him. I'm like, Balu! And immediately he goes, Anna! Anna! And I'm like, oh my God, I am going to die. I am going to die right here. And I guess I should also say that keep in mind, this kid's like, man, he must have been not a shade, like a little older than 10. I'm sitting here and I'm like, well, like 14, I don't know how old I was in 10th grade, but I'm big, man, I'm big too. And this kid's like 10, he's like thin, he's emaciated. He honestly could not have had 2 straight meals in a day in his life. And I'm thinking, I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to die. I have a long life to live. I immediately forgot all feelings of depression, all feelings of loss, and I was like, it was like fight or flight, let's go. Except I couldn't fly, and there was no way how I could fight. So I'm just dragging this little kid along. And this is the kicker. I guess maybe I shouldn't say kicker, but jokes, right? No, but a guy comes up, and he just comes up. He's from the dosa stand actually. He comes, grabs him, and throws him aside, right, the kid, and then pushes me back, and then turns to the kid and starts yelling at him, like going at him. And I don't really remember what he said. This older gentleman. Except I noticed 2 things. First, he was a cop. And second, he was the most beautiful human being I've ever seen in my life. And like I was like, oh, thank God someone saved my life. And I stood there. But then my happiness, or I guess my gratefulness, turned to almost like one of horror. Because this guy, he starts wailing on him. Like man, he goes hard on this kid. And he just goes on, like he must have been frustrated that day, I don't know. He couldn't, like, he left his keys in his car and got locked out or something, because he was mad. You could tell, he was letting it go on this kid. And I felt like crap. And I was like, dude, that's messed up. I should stop him, and I didn't say anything. That's my cowardice, and I still regret that to this day that I didn't say anything. But he goes on, maybe for like 2 minutes, while yelling at him about how he's like a bad person, how he's begging like a dog, and then he moves on. Like he stops, he gets up, like on a dime, he just stops, gets up, and goes back to the toasted sandwich, like right over there. And I'm standing over here, and I don't know what to do. Like in the U.S., I've seen CSI enough to know I should file a police report. But that guy was the police, and he just beat the crap out of this kid, and I don't know if he's going to beat the crap out of me. So I'm standing here, and I don't know what to do. I'm looking at the cop, looking at the kid, looking at the cop, looking at the kid looking at the cop, and the guy just goes. He goes about his business. He's ordering like his food at the toasted stand. It also takes like 2 seconds to make. It's real fast. And the kid's just like crumpled up a little bit. He slowly gets himself together, puts himself together, sits up a little bit, and all that time takes place, right? I'm just frozen. And I like look up, and the kid for some reason looks up as well at this cop, and the cop had paid. He gets his food. Literally, as he grabs his food and steps back, right, you can tell, like, oh man, he was feeling good. He just got, his physical exertion, his PT for like the rest of the year, and he had some food in front of him. He's gonna go to town on dosa. I don't blame him. Dosa's delicious. And so he goes, he grabs it, and I kid you not, the world's biggest pigeon crap just fell right on, like you could see it, man. Like he had it, and he was looking at it, right at it, and he was just like a fat kid looks at donuts, man. He was just like, oh yes, and then I don't know if any of you guys have ever had the good luck of getting pigeon crapped on you, but it doesn't happen like plop. It's like blah 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 blah. So he's holding it like this, right? And it just goes down like straight, you know what I mean? Straight down his hat, right? It's his cocked hat. And then like down his badge, or his badge is over here, like down here, and it goes into his food, and like into the sambar. And man, the sambar is the best part. And I felt bad for him. Man. And that must have sucked. And you could see it, like he was gripping it, like I can't do it with my other hand, but he was like gripping it so hard, the tray. And dude, like I look, and I want to laugh, but I also want to like kind of cry, because this much emotion I've never felt in my life. And I'm looking at it, and I'm just like this, and like I hear like this like laugh, it's like kind of a silent laugh, and it's the beat up kid next to me, and then that kid is like laughing, like he starts like, and he's like rolling on the ground laughing. So and then he like stops, looks at me like, why the hell are you not laughing? I look back and I'm like, dude, you just got beat up. And he's like, are you kidding me? This is just like, no time, just talking to me. It was a heart to heart. We had a soul-to-soul connection. And he looks over and he's like, you are freaking crazy, man. You gotta laugh. That's hilarious. And so, I'm like, well, it's really funny, so I'm gonna start laughing. So we both laughed. We had a great laugh. It was great. It's like girls watch Grey's Anatomy cry after a breakup, but I shared a great moment with him, and we laughed. And then we left. He kind of, I guess, moved away, stumbling a little bit, bruised obviously, and I went back to the comfort of my 50-degree house with no AC. And I think the thing was, it wasn't, the lesson I learned, right, wasn't that, I should have been less cowardly and caught it, though that was messed up with me. But the lesson I learned was, dude, this kid, right, bruised and battered as he is, right, he had nothing to live for. Honest, being completely honest, right? He probably didn't go to school, right? He probably maybe even had siblings or other people he had to take care of. I don't know, right? You generate an entire narrative of him, right? He's a slumdog millionaire kid without the millionaire part. He was just in the slums, living day to day. barely got any food. Yet, when something happened, he had the audacity to laugh, to feel happiness. And that's what I learned from that kid. That even when my life is in the dumps, when someone else's life is in the dumps, when someone I care about is feeling hurt, right? Even when I'm bruised and battered on the ground with nothing to live for, right? And watching a man get his dosa, I can laugh at pigeon food. That's what I have to say.